Any of y'all ever see that movie, The 13th Warrior? I think it was either back in the 90s or maybe the early 2000s. There's this Antonio Banderas movie. It's an adaptation of a Michael Crichton novel, The Eaters of the Dead. This Viking group goes up into this North Country to help out another Viking group with this enemy that they have that are cannibals. So they get in there, they get all set up, and this old elderly earl who's in charge of the Vikings up north starts to tell this story. And he's sort of waxing poetic about their current situation, and he's like, we are hunted now in our own lands, but things are we're not always thus. It's real interesting because it very much reminds me of how YouTube is right now. You know, here these political or philosophical, more conservative channels. I know gun channels feel like they're singled out, but if you guys look around, everybody's whining. But there was a time when we were the kings and queens of this platform, when we were in charge, when YouTube really meant broadcast yourself. And there was no great evil us and them. We had no choice but to feed on each other. That brings us to the continuation of my YouTube story of going start to finish from my time in YouTube, beginning in late 2006, early 2007 up till now. The Lambdog 76 channel, I don't know if I've made mention of it before, is actually my second channel. My first channel, much like everybody else, was literally my name. And I decided before I was going to be producing videos that I would try to take the anonymous approach because another very well-known YouTuber at the time for our circles did the whole anonymous thing, and I thought that ambiguous, mysterious, you know, how cool is this secret squirrel operator thing was kind of neat, and I was sort of mimicking it. I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but it is what it is looking back. Speaking of looking back, as I'm trying to tell this story, I've got a library of over 1,000 videos, so I'm able to look back at certain times and try to gauge what was going on chronologically as we're coming through YouTube. What's interesting is that my memories tell me one thing, the videos tell me something else. And I think what it was, it had to do with everything sort of blending together. You know, you got the troll channels going on, you have the other channels going on, and literally I'm behaving like a bit of a backstabber as we're almost at the peak of when the so-called gun community was really doing things together. There'd be little, quite popular actually, but marksmanship contests that people would participate in and submit videos for as video responses. It was a very, very cool time, and I never really thought that in this age of YouTube groups and video responses that it would really come to an end. You know, I never really saw it in the long view. I was never one of the... I quickly, after losing my revenue sharing, which it was I still have the partnership, but I lost revenue sharing at that time, figure that out. When I lost that ability, my social awareness of YouTube really changed, and I became more of what I like to think of as a communicator instead of a broadcaster, you know. And then it drove me nuts, the channels that would just broadcast, you know, instead of talking with their audience, they would talk to their audience and try to establish a fan base. And that's fine. You know, it really is fine if that's what you're doing. And I think that's what makes YouTube nice, is that mixture of communicators, broadcasters, philosophers, and just wingnuts whose mouths are much bigger than their ears. So we'll be keeping on with this whole thing, and we'll catch more. I'll try to do these once a week till we get them all knocked out, and we'll catch you on the next one.